something I need. There's nothing left to say. There's just no other way. Can you feel it now? It's like a steel boot to the gut. I feel the heat from these fields of fire. I hear the screeching of burning tires. I don't care how long it takes. I ain't never gonna break. I got a 5.56 that'll leave you out.
All right. Good morning, guys. Just want to say that Joe will not be here again today. He will return to our channel on Wednesday. He has been, like, as you guys know, dealing with his mother's death this week, and it's tough on him. And I did not get a hold of Pope this week, and I got to be honest with you, doing this interview today, I don't need a Marine in here with me right now. he'll just get me frazzled during the show. So I'll get Pope back next week, and he's going to be regularly back with us. So we will have one Gyrene and two Army grunts doing the show, and along with, of course, Anima Confucia and Martin. And today, I'm sure you guys are wondering, like, where's our guest? Well, he's right here. This is film director and friend, Rod Lurie. And I hope it... I'm a little stuffy today. I hope you can't notice it, but I got sick. I have a little cold or something, or COVID. I don't know. But welcome back, Rod. It's good to see you, man.
Boatard, how are you?
Oh, doing real super. Glad you're here. Yeah, I told Anima and Martin, I said, I kind of want to keep Rod to myself. Fuck the other guys.
All right, fuck those assholes. You got it. All right.
Yeah. Now, last time you came on with us, you came on with my buddy Don Ecker, Vietnam veteran, and just a great guy. He retired because he's getting up there too. He's 80 now, and it's kind of weird. My brother's going to be 80 this year. It's like I've got a brother.
He's going to be. I'm sorry. He's going to be how old?
80. My brother 80. Steven. Yeah, 80 years old.
Is he your younger brother?
He's. Oh my God, it's good to see you, Rod. It really is. Been too long. You kind of took a hiatus for a while. What was up with that? Why'd you take so long between films?
Well, I did make a film between the Outpost and this one. It was called. You didn't know that? It was called. Yeah, it was called The Senior. It came out last year. It starred Michael Chiklis. True story of.
Love Michael Chiklis.
True story of a 59-year-old man who went back to went back to play middle linebacker for his college. He had 1 year of eligibility left, and so not that big a hiatus. That came out, I think I guess it came out in 25, maybe
23. It says it's 23.
No, that's not correct. It definitely came out either last year or the year before. I think it was last year. It was last year. Yeah.
I have not gotten any updates on you, and I usually follow everything that's like going on with you. Holy smokes!
You got to put those. You got to put the Bob Woodward in you back in there somehow.
That just sounds gross. But no, I'm going to check this movie out. Holy shit. Mary Stuart Masterson's in it too.
Yep. Yeah, I'm aware. That movie was
I hope
that's a very different film for me. It was a contentious film for me to make, and I really like it. I love Michael Chiklis. I think he gave the performance of his career. Mary Stuart is marvelous. I would say the same thing, in fact. And yeah, if you're a football lover, you're going to love the film.
I love football movies, man. Dude, we were just talking about this last week because I love good sports film because I was an all-state, all-district athlete growing up in Virginia, you know, and we're serious about our football there in the Battlefield District. And because I grew up in Fredericksburg, you know, Fredericksburg.
Sure.
And historic Fredericksburg, and we are proud of our football and baseball there.
Yep.
And give me a good football film, and I'm a big Michael Chiklis fan too. I follow what he's doing.
You completely fucked up. I mean, how could you?
Yeah,
I'm a veteran director who's a veteran. You got Michael Chiklis, who you love. You love football films, and it was not the most aggressively marketed film. It was put out by Angel Films, and for anybody who knows me,
and I love Angel Films, by the way.
I know, but anybody who knows me knows that there is a deep irony in that, because I'm an atheist Jew. I'm not a Christian, and it's anyway. We don't need to talk about one so much. It came out, it did its business. It's doing very well on VOD right now, and which is where Lucky Strike is now, where you can see it.
Yeah, it just got delivered there, which is why once I saw that was happening, I wanted to get a hold of your agent and get you on the show. Because boy, oh boy, this is everybody's chance to see the film. It's available right now on Apple TV. It's available on Amazon, and it's available right now on Fandango. Past that, I don't know anybody else. I just know those three. And we watched it over the weekend, and all of us did. And wanted to make sure that I see the film before talking, even though I'm probably not going to talk all that much about the story. More about, because I'm always fascinated with the process and how you get your movies made, where you focus your energies on making the film, but in pre-production to production. And I also, because I also like talking about your past films, and one of your films getting a little bit of attention again is The Contender, which I keep telling people, this is one of the best fucking political thrillers I've ever seen.
Thank you.
And you got Gary Oldman in it, Joan Allen in it. You've got a great cast in this film.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges. Jeff
Bridges is a major character in it.
Sam Elliott. You've got Mariel Hemingway.
Sam Elliott losing his shit on camera.
It's great. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, when I told Sam, when I met Sam for the role, he had hair down to his ass, literally.
Right.
And had a mustache going down to his waist. And I told him, you're going to have to cut all that off. You're going to have to go H.R. Haldeman. And he smiled and he said, "No problem, yo." And he gave, I think, just a magnificent performance. He plays Chief of Staff to the President, who was played by.
Well, I got to tell you, having seen the movie as just the guy that watched the movie, his performance in it is probably the best performance in the film. And like I said, he loses his shit in the movie. And
there's going to be, we are preparing right now a Blu-ray with a whole bunch of extras on it. And hopefully another generation will be able to get to see the film. Yeah, that film really launched me. And what a lot of people do not know is that it was an independent film. And
independent film, but picked up by Spielberg's company.
That's what I was going to say, is that Spielberg asked to see the film while it was being sold, not for the intention of buying it, but for showing it to his mom. And he and his mom watched it. And the next day, we got a phone call saying that he wanted to buy the film for DreamWorks. And we were offered more money from Harvey. I can't believe I'm telling this story, but it's 25 years later. Harvey Weinstein offered $1 million more for the rights to the film, and then DreamWorks was able to offer. And I must say, to their credit, they pretty much left it to me how we would go, and I just made a decision about who I wanted to be in an editing room with, and it was easily Steven Spielberg.
Oh yeah,
and it turned out to be one of the best. He became my mentor, and it was one of the best professional relationships I've ever had. So valuable. And then he hired me to do a film called The Last Castle. And then I did a TV series with him. And it was just magical. I was.
What TV series was that?
It was called Line of Fire. It was an FBI series. Short-lived. Yeah. I mean, we were up against Law and Order. It's SVU, not SUV, SVU, and Special Victims Unit, and we never really stood a chance. But it was also a very, very language aggressive, sex aggressive show. And when Janet Jackson had her top taken down by Justin Timberlake and all that kerfuffle happened, it pretty much put an end to that show.
Wow. And I like procedurals. I'm a big fan of good procedural shows. I like political thrillers and I like procedural. And when it comes to filmmaking now, like you do my favorite genre, which is military. Not always war, but military. Because The Last Castle is a great film, military film, but it's about prison. Right. And you got also one of the late great actors. I fucking loved Redford growing up.
Yeah, of course.
But also James Gandolfini.
He was awesome. Bob Redford was awesome. It's interesting. All joking aside, you're probably quite a bit younger than me, and because I grew up on some of Redford's films in the '70s, and he was my hero. All the President's Men to me is the best film ever made. And he founded Sundance, and there's Quiz Show, and so it was quite a little bit more than an honor to be directing him. It was something beyond the word honor. It was I remember getting chastised by him one day, and it was like, oh my God, it was worse than anything my dad ever did to me, or any professor ever did to me.
Oh man! Well, first of all, getting to work around people like you've gotten to work around Redford and Spielberg, you got to work with two of probably in their period of time the best at what they did. Yep. Because Spielberg was just. I always tell people that he was probably, like Ridley Scott, probably one of the best DPs that never did DP work. He always hired somebody to do DP work, but he set up all his scenes way in advance. And he used now you know this term from the military, the sandbox thing. And he would set up his entire films using sandboxes, these miniatures, set up all of his shots, everything way in advance of them shooting, so that when they got there that day, they would get through the shots quickly.
Yeah.
And you just don't find that kind of efficiency.
Well, he told me that in the later part of his career that he doesn't do that anymore, because he says that now he needs a challenge of some kind. That challenge is making it up when he arrives. So he doesn't set up the shots anymore. But it is quite obvious from a lot of those films, because that it has to have been pre-planned, not even the elaborate action stuff. But he has so many one-ers with actors walking in and out of the scene, delivering their lines at exactly the right place. It's all over Jaws, for example. And that can only be done with meticulous preparation. And we did discuss camera preparation ahead of shooting The Last Castle. Obviously I learned a lot from Steven, obviously.
Yeah. And then you also get
what's that?
You get great performances from your actors, and so who taught you to work with actors? Where'd you learn?
Well, that's the actors taught me how to work with actors. The actors taught me. There's no rule book for this at all. And the thing that one must understand is that every actor is a different human being, and to get the best out of that actor requires different things per actor. On my first film, I did a movie called Deterrence, and I had in it two actors, Kevin Pollak and Tim Hutton, who were not big at the time, but were the biggest people on the set. And I learned what it meant to be in that situation with guys who are now newly appointed as the kings of the hill of a set. And I knew what it meant, and directing someone like Redford, who only knows being a star. Redford was a guy who lives on a different planet than the rest of us, and almost literally. you know, he's mortal. We know he's mortal only because he passed away in a way. I mean, he, you know, and dealing with him, it's not like dealing with, you know, with other actors. And every actor is his or her own on the job training. And luckily, you know, luckily I did learn a lot, and there are some common denominators among some actors, you know, like Sam Jackson was a guy, I worked with him on a movie called Resurrecting the Champ. And for the first 3 or 4 days, I would come to the trailer, the makeup trailer early in the morning. And I'd say, okay, let's discuss what we're going to do today, Sam. The way I see it is blah, blah, blah. And on day 4 or 5, I say, you know, you don't need to be coming in here no more. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. I got it. I don't need it. And to some other actors, that would be like a sin not to come in and discuss the day's work. It was absolutely crucial to an actor like Mark Ruffalo, for example, you know, where it's a prerequisite that you come in and discuss the day's work with him. In television, I created 2 TV shows. The other one was Commander-in-Chief with Gina Davis. You have to come in and discuss. You're moving so fast. You know, they have to know what's expected of them or what you would like from them. Or
Yeah,
what,
you did that one with the your co-writer producer on this film, Lucky Strike, Mark
Friedman.
Friedman. Yeah, and because he was, I know he was directly involved with you in that show, Commander-in-Chief.
Well, Mark has been he really got me started in the business, and has been the producer of I would say the vast majority of stuff that I have made, certainly the movies that I have made. He was not involved in The Last Castle and he's not involved in The Senior, and he was not involved in the movie I just finished shooting a month ago called The Horseman, a Western up in Calgary. But with all 8 of my other films, yeah, he's been the primary producer. And on the case of Lucky Strike, he was not just a writer; he was the initiating writer of the script was originally all his. Mm-hmm.
And did he come to you with it?
So here's the story. It's kind of an interesting story. Is that when Mark was 17 years old in France, he's a Frenchie. This particular high school had paid for and invited veterans of the Battle of the Bulge to come to the school, and they spent time with those students, going over everything that happened for them in the war and in the battle. And this one dude told me, he was a former lieutenant. He told Mark this story of what you see in Lucky Strike, which has since been embellished, obviously. But he told him this story, and Mark, who comes from, his family was someone involved in film. They owned RKO rights in Europe. He said, this could be a really good movie. And I don't know when he actually began writing the screenplay, but he gave me a screenplay in 2017, or 2018, around the time we were beginning to do The Outpost. And I read it, and it was really good, but it was also, I think, about 68 pages. It wasn't anywhere near enough for a full film. And I told him that, and he invited me to write on it and to expand it and to put my military mitts on it a little bit. It's still very much his project, I would say, and his movie. But so the way that I came to be involved was in that way. Also, when you're a director, you come onto a movie, you always get into the screenplay because, I want to direct a certain film. And in order to do that, there are going to have to be some writing polishes. And there's just no way around it.
Right. And you, like, the thing I know about you so far, because I consider myself a fan of your work way before we met, and Contender being the first film of yours I saw, and your dialogue is like, God damn it, dialogue is everything to me. It's like the most important thing in the storytelling process, because one, the dialogue not only helps you tell the story, it also helps to push the story forward.
Right.
And you get that in spades. And I love that about your writing. That a lot of writers don't, like, people go, Quentin Tarantino, man, he is a great writer. I said, no, not really. He's a great at writing snappy dialogue. But if you told him that dialogue is essential to push the story forward, the themes and everything, he wouldn't know what he's doing, because he doesn't do that kind of writing.
We're not going to agree on that at all. But
no, it's okay. I've got a lot of writer friends who don't agree with me, but I feel like a lot of his dialogue is interchangeable with characters. And but I love his dialogue. I sit there and I can just go to town on Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, there are a few writers where you say, do you just listen to dialogue and you know who wrote it? Like Quentin is one of them. Another person that way is Aaron Sorkin. Has very
Aaron Sorkin
and Cameron Crowe. You know, they have very a very specific metronome in their writing, and I admire them all very, very much. They're all absolutely all Oscar winners, all brilliant.
When you are at the tail end of your existence, what are your personal favorites of your own work that you hope people will look back on with favor? Which ones?
Well, you know,
your babies, in other words.
Yeah, no, I would say Lucky Strike will be one of them. But if I'm being really blunt about it, I would have to say it was The Outpost. You know, the Outpost. I don't know if your folks have seen it, but a story about the Battle of Kamdesh, and focuses on the two men who received the Medal of Honor for their heroics in that battle. And just everything about it was a perfect storm to win my heart. I really wanted to make a movie for modern day veterans. I wanted to make a movie where veterans of Afghanistan, of the International War on Terror, when asked what it was like, they would just say to them, you know what, rather than me telling you, watch The Outpost, that's what it was. And I think we delivered that in spades. And you
made a film that could have been so political, and you removed the politics from it.
Well, yeah, and I'm a really, really political guy. I will tell you this. I will tell you this though, that that when I was I graduated from West Point, and when I was a plebe, I was a terrible plebe. I was a terrible cadet just across the board. But I had when I was a plebe, I had a junior. His name was Mick Nicholson, who was such a fucking hard ass and so tough on me. And I think he really wanted to I think it was a mission to chase me out of the academy. And but he was like this incredible stud. He was a guy who had quit West Point after a sophomore year, went to Georgetown. I think ended up number one in his class at Georgetown, then came back and picked up as a junior at West Point again, became the first captain, number one person at West Point, and also graduated number one there. And then he became a 4-star general. But he is the guy, Mick Nicholson, my tormentor, he is the guy who established the Outpost in the Outpost. That Cop Keating, he created. And
holy shit.
Yeah, so there was really something. So and I just communicated with him for the first time in 40 years because I invited him to come to a screening of Lucky Strike at the National Archives where we premiered it. So that was pretty cool.
How did that go? Did you guys
He didn't come to the movie. No, he wrote me back. It was extremely pleasant, and it seemed to be he has not seen The Outpost, but he has to imagine what it's going to be. I mean, it's so obvious what it was. He was familiar with Jake Tapper's book, of course, and it was based on. So he asked to know what it is, but no hard feelings from either one of us.
Good.
he probably made me a stronger human, not a better cadet, but a stronger human. And so
what made you a bad cadet?
well,
Like-
I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin. I was sort of the military instinct was never really a part of me. There were people there who it just was inside of them. I came from a semi-military family. My dad was an Israeli war hero, but it certainly was not a daily part of his life or our lives. I just was not adept at, assembling, an M16. I didn't know how to. I wasn't good at those things. And it is such a challenging school, man. I mean, because when I was there, at least, I think it's still the case, I had to pick a major or a concentration, as we called them. For me, it was political science, but we also had to do enough courses to get an engineering degree. And I'm about the least mathematic, least scientifically oriented person you could meet. And so I really struggled through chemistry and physics and thermonuclear dynamics and all of that stuff.
Right.
It just was not for me. I was not a particularly good athlete. A bit of a spaz. Didn't do well with authority. So, I would say I was one of those guys who I was a skin of your teeth guy at that school. But I went there, for a couple of reasons. The first is I wanted to become a filmmaker. And rather than go to a film school, I wanted to go to a school where I could learn about the things that I wanted to make movies about. And in my case, the military leadership, very important topic to me. The use of power, very important to me. The other reason that I went there, and I guess I wanted to serve my country. I was an immigrant and felt a kinship to the country, obviously. But the other thing is that when you go to that school, that degree serves you for the rest of your life. When you say you went to a really good school like Harvard or Stanford, people will say, "Oh, you must be a pretty smart guy," or you had a daddy to get you in, or you had really good grades, or whatever. They don't really make a judgment about you. But when you go to West Point, it's always a story. Everyone who learns about it wants to know about it. They want to know how a guy like me could have gone through it. And so I think that in life, you do interesting things, you'll be an interesting person, and you'll have more opportunities in life as a result. The only others, I wanted to go to Columbia University because I love journalism, and I wanted to go to the Fred Friendly School of Journalism. Fred Friendly School. That's the guy that in the movie Good Night, Good Luck that George Clooney played. And Fred Friendly himself wrote me a letter of recommendation, and I did not get in. And I think,
Wow.
and now looking back on it, and I think that my dad may have been in a fight with him or something, and that he maybe fucked me in the interview. So I wasn't sure. The other schools, I think I just lost you. Did I? Yeah.
No. Oh yeah.
No?
It looks like he has connection problems. Yeah.
Okay. Well, does that happen often here?
He will be back.
He'll be back.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
usually just a disconnect for a few seconds.
Okay. Well, I guess we just wait. Do we do something to entertain the crowd in the meantime? This boisterous crowd is no doubt assembling.
Yes.
Okay, I am still here. Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah.
Okay, there you are.
Yeah.
Okay. It's something that occasionally happens here. We have storms rolling through in
Don't
Missouri.
worry about it. Of course. The thing I was going to say is that the other school that I was considering, for that same point of view of having a story for the rest of my life, was to go to Howard University or Morehouse.
Howard, yeah, another good school.
Go to an all-black school, historically black university, college. And
I pretty
that
much went to an almost all black high school in Virginia.
did, okay.
Yeah,
That was
because
not-
I got there You and I, by the way, are only 2 years apart in age. I'm 62. So you were born in 62. So
Right.
that puts you at 64. So when our age is pretty close. But anyway, going back to it, because just one thing I want to add to this is the fact that I find it interesting that you always have somebody in your story who was part of the Long Gray Line, you know, having been a graduate from West Point.
Yeah.
And I think who was it in this movie? Was there anyone in this one?
Nope. Actually, no. I wanted to make the lead character. It was important to me that he was not a career soldier, that he was a guy who was eligible for a deferment because he worked in the agricultural industry and could have stayed home, but chose to come and fight. The General Lauer, the only real character in the movie, that guy is a West Point graduate, so I suppose we have one there, but it's never made, it's never overtly discussed at all. But I do try to put West Point into as many, and there was no West Point in the senior, and the Western I just made, there's no West Point. So I got now a slew of films in a row that they don't discuss the Academy at all.
We have a super chat from my good buddy and our former producer on the show, Zax, who's got his own popular channel that he does. He asks for Canadian $10, which is almost good as American money, but not quite. I've watched. I'm shitting on my friends. We have a lot of Canadians. Actually, we have a lot of Europeans that watch this show.
Right. Okay. Good.
People in Europe are watching us right now. And
I'm in Europe right now myself.
Oh, what? Where you at?
I live in Lisbon now.
Oh, great city.
Portugal. Nice. You're not far from, well, you are pretty far from Anima. She's up there in Vienna right now.
Let's get back to Canada, who, by the way, the dollar is much better than our dollar, but go ahead.
Yeah. I just do it just to shit on my friends. Yeah. I've watched The Outpost at least 6 times. I sometimes watch just the assault and clearing of the base. If I don't feel motivated to work out, it's an amazing film. Thank you for your work. And that's from our good friend, Zach.
Well, I really appreciate that. And, you know, you asked before what was closest to my heart, and it really is that film. And it's my best reviewed film. It got totally fucked by COVID. And I think that had it had a proper release, that Caleb Landry Jones would have been nominated for and probably would have won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He was just so stellar.
Well, I've said it's the best film of the year.
I've
said that myself, and it's not just because you and I are friends.
Behind
your back.
Caleb probably gave the best combat performance of all time. And by that, I don't mean the best performance in a war film. That might be Tom Hanks or Dorsey Scott or Alec Guinness. But the best acting of a man in combat was probably Caleb Landry Jones in that film. It's just absolutely. And Scott Eastwood did a great job too, as he does in Lucky Strike. Yeah. Yeah,
Caleb, though, I got to tell you, he gets the chaos. He really moves well in the chaos of it, because that's what combat is chaos. It's sometimes controlled chaos, but it's chaos nonetheless. And it takes a special mind, because one thing that, I was just born, I don't ever lose my shit, ever. I never lose my shit, no matter how hairy it gets. I'm always like the calm guy. And everybody goes, how do you stay so calm? And I look at them and I go, you think I'm calm? I'm absolutely going batshit crazy on the inside. And it's like, you don't see that, but I'm absolutely just as chaotic as you, but mine's internalized. And it's it. But I got to tell you, of your films, it's also my favorite, The Outpost. I just love that movie so much.
Yeah.
It's my era. I have guys that served under me that one of them received the Purple Heart for wounds received in combat during a Humvee incident with him in Iraq, when his Humvee got struck by RPG fire, weapons fire, and an IED. I'm like, yeah, he got hit by everything that day, and he walked away with just minor wounds. and I'm so proud of that guy. That's Kyle Fisher, and but just so you know, though, I also have a very close Anima, all of us do, very close friend. He goes by the name Mephisto, and he is from Israel. He lives in Israel, and we worry about him all the fucking time right now. We're always like we hear something happens, immediately messaging him, asking, "Are you okay? The family okay?" You know, and he's like you, an atheist Jew, and and
well,
I
I'll tell
put
you,
you in for
a lot of Israelis are, and in fact, I'm Israeli. I was born in Israel.
Yes, you were.
And right now, my nephew Max is with one of the most elite units in the IDF. He's an American. He went over there to serve with his fellow Jews, and and you talk about being worried. I mean, he's in a full combat unit. He's wearing one of the purple berets, and it's so anybody who knows anything about the Israeli military knows that he's like the equivalent of the Delta Force, the Navy SEALs, and it worries the fuck out of me. He was a Texas A&M student, very gifted, super athlete, and now he's over there dodging bullets and getting concussed by bombs, and it's I'm proud of him, of course, but it doesn't mean I'm not troubled. I'm not.
Oh, you got to worry about him. We worry all the time, and he's already he now works in labs, but he served in the IDF, my buddy, and and he, like, we joke about it all the time. I said, you're not too old, you could get called back for your specialty skills. So this came up here.
We've done shows with him on the panel when the sirens would start sounding and he had to go to the shelter while we're doing the show. It's scary.
They're under attack. So I love the guy. But anyway, this is our buddy. I like to call him officially Dang, but it's Dan G. And he wants to know, can you ask him the camera lenses that were used and how the budget was used? And are you talking about Lucky Strike, Dan? I'm just curious. I'm assuming he's talking about Lucky Strike.
Well, I mean, we can talk about it in both Lucky Strike and the Outpost. We use the RE Mini, and I am again, we were talking about actors, and I really like to use wide lenses more than long lenses. And if you look at the lenses in the Outpost, Caleb has a face that's built for a wide lens, because he's sort of a very angular guy. It's and same thing with Barry Pepper, who is the lead of the Horseman, the movie I just made. I love using wide angle lenses on him as well. But it's often the lenses are often very actor specific for me. I had an actor, Donald Sutherland, when he worked with me, I will say, on Commander in Chief, refused to have a lens that was any wider than 40 millimeters, right? Because he thought it looked ridiculous, and he would only go 40 or longer. And his son, Kiefer, it's pretty much the same thing on the Horseman. He's best served with longer lenses. So, lenses are often, to me, very, very actor specific. And usually the DP makes those decisions, but sometimes I'll jump aboard just because I want to get a certain effect. When you look at Caleb Landry Jones inside the LRAS, and I want to get this the confinement to really sell, when I take that wide angle lens like a 26 and put it right up against his face, it gives such amazing claustrophobia. You would think, counterintuitively, that would come with a long lens, but it really achieves its goal with the wide lenses.
Gambit, who's a friend of ours that is over in Europe as well.
Sweden.
All you European types. Anyway, he wants to know: did you use the latest Panavision lenses?
Oh, it was already all the way, and I love Panavision. I used to work exclusively with Panavision, and they're terrific. But over there in Europe, where I made both the war films, and up in Canada, it's just not as ubiquitous. And we could get into the nitty gritty of the lenses that that I use, but probably would be boring for most. The most interesting thing that I think that I like to do is to disassemble the camera, put it into the equivalent of a knapsack, and have only the lens for the operator to hold, so that he can last longer in these long takes. It can be, and he can get back to work faster. He's not carrying as much as a front load as it is a back load, which is a little easier until that night when he goes home. But for actually shooting the film, it's very much.
Well, that's very thoughtful. I don't think a lot of directors really consider that for their DPs to be thoughtful towards them. So at least I gotta say that's pretty amazing of you to say.
I'm not being thoughtful. It's for the film. Like
it's for the betterment of the film. Gotcha.
Yeah, when we on the Outpost, I needed this fantastic operator, Sasha, to run with Caleb Landry Jones or with Scott Eastwood long distances carrying a fucking camera. And then we got to go do take two, so I need them to preserve their strength. This concept was first introduced in the movie Das Boot, because they needed to get the cameras through these really small submarine doors. So easier to catch, put them on your back and have the lens just in front of you. And but then it was not really used. And I think we sort of re-triggered all that with the Outpost. The operating on the Outpost is just first rate. And although, like I said, we didn't get it into theaters because of COVID, it still is very respected within the photography community.
That's it. Well, look, that's fantastic. By the way, I do want to give a thank you video to Zach's. I usually do it. So I'm trying to think, what on earth should I play for him? And I'm going to play a Dale Dye clip from his first movie, where he just plays a Marine firing a rocket.
Platoon.
Dragon!
He's the most motherfucker.
Dale Dye is such a fucking badass. He's great. He was in he was the voice of Josh Hartnett's dad in Resurrecting the Champ. And it was great. I got to go, and he played a radio announcer who was a boxing analyst. And so I got to go and record with him. And it was really cool. And he gave me a gift, which is an old grad West Point bathrobe. He's not a West Pointer, but he had this bathrobe, and I had lost mine. And so he gave me the one that he had, and I thought that was so
I'm going to
cool.
send this to him, just so you know. I'm going to clip this and send it to him.
No, he's amazing. He's a good actor too. I mean, he's specific, right? Mm-hmm. But if you want to get that type, there's nobody better. He's better than Arlie Ermey.
Well, yeah, and it's funny is they were friends, and I met Arlie Ermey because of working for Dale, and it was one of my happiest fucking experiences meeting Arlie Ermey, and just having a conversation with that guy was surreal for me, because I meet a lot of celebrities. I work in the industry as an artist, which, by the way, I wanted to mention your dad was a cartoonist, and I was just talking about this with another buddy of mine. I said, yeah, Rod Lurie's dad was a cartoonist, and I do believe in Israel. He worked for
dude. You're so underselling. He was okay. He passed 4 years ago. My dad was the #1 cartoonist in history, according to the Guinness Book of World Records.
No shit.
He was the cartoonist for. He began his career as a cartoonist for Israeli newspapers, brought over to Canada by Life magazine. He goes to the United States, becomes a cartoonist for Newsweek and Time magazine, becomes the most syndicated cartoonist of all time, starts to travel the world to become the cartoonist for world capital newspapers like the Times of London, for example, or the Asahi Shimbun in Japan. He became the probably the most financially successful political cartoonists of all time. He was the guy who figured out to do international cartoons so that he would be printed all around the world as opposed to just the United States, which the United States political cartoonists never understood. And so he became so widely syndicated. There wasn't a major newspaper in the world that didn't carry his cartoons. And he was an Israeli war hero of the highest order. So I mean, he was an incredible guy from a professional point of view, military point of view.
What's it like growing up in his shadow?
Well, it wasn't a shadow because we went into different worlds, but it's not an easy life. On the one hand, he's extremely creative and wants us to be creative. Doesn't mean we are creative, right?
Did he push that with you?
I'm sorry?
Did he push that with you to be creative?
Of course, yeah. I think he really wanted me to be a cartoonist like him. And
right.
and I was pretty good at it. Well, one of my first jobs was to be the sidewalk cartoonist at the Hilton Hawaiian Village, where you're drawing the tourists, for
right.
$30 or $40. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that.
I mean, okay, well, it's fun. And then when I had a film column as a journalist in a Connecticut newspaper, I would draw the actors that were in the movies that I was reviewing. But he was very, very, very tough man. I mean, typical Israeli tough guy. Saw a lot of combat in his life. His unit was the Spirit that actually captured the West Bank in 1967.
Wow.
So yeah, he was the real deal. So was he a cartoonist? Yeah. Was he more than just a cartoonist in Israel? Yes.
Yes.
He knew every prime minister, liked every one of them except for Netanyahu, who despised him. He was asked to be, I think, by the way, when I say every prime minister, I'm beginning with number one, David Ben-Gurion. He knew him as well. And I think he was asked to be in almost every administration. And I think if we had stayed in the United States, my dad probably would have ended up as the prime minister of Israel. Is my
wow.
So sorry, litigation, but you're giving him a little short shrift, so I had to correct that.
Yeah. So let me go back to what I said. So your dad was a cartoonist. I'm making fun of myself right now.
Okay,
but well, when I say that, like the shadow, I grew up under the shadow of a man like that. For me, with my dad, and eventually I hit a point with him one day where we were having a conversation. I said, Dad, I got to point out something to you. I've actually been through more shit than you now, so you can't hold that over me anymore. I've done more with my life. Because I worked as a political cartoonist up in Seattle, I like doing the illustration work, and I still do. I can't do it anymore due to nerve damage because my drawing hand shakes so badly.
That's my father as well. He eventually had to stop because of damage to his hand. And
mine was the damage to C2, C3, and so my hands constantly vibrate like that. And I work digitally now, and so I can paint because I have control software that softens the shake of my hand. But drawing is next to impossible for me. And it hurts because that's how I've made my living my whole life. I've been a journalist too. I worked in journalism, but the fact is my bread and butter is always doing artwork, and I like doing artwork. And I also was a critic for Illinois' #1 alternative news magazine. And they thought it was so funny that I don't get nervous talking to any celebrity. I've met so many Hollywood people, and I just start talking to them like we're just hanging out.
Yeah.
And they're
well,
like,
you and I, we obviously have followed very much the same path.
Yeah, and I find that so interesting. And what's weird is, I grew up Irish Catholic, Democrat, and but I discovered that my entire family is Jewish. All my siblings are Jewish. I'm the only Irish Catholic out of a family
How,
of
how,
6
how
Jews.
is that? I'm not sure how is that possible.
My mom converted to Judaism when she married
Ah.
the first time, and she had the 6 kids, and then she met my dad and converted to Catholicism when she married my dad.
Okay,
And
well, okay. Well,
my mom.
The difference is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to tell you. At one point, my brother Michael, God rest his soul, wanted to be a rabbi, and I was in seminary. And it was one of those jokes where it's like, mom was like, I'm going to have a son that's a priest and another one that's a rabbi.
Well, I'll tell you the difference between Catholics and Jews are very simple. The Catholics are always feeling guilty, and the Jews always make you feel guilty. That's the way their mothers are, you know.
Very true. And my sisters are the most Jewish girls I've ever met in my life. My sister, Luann, she grew up in New York during the formative years of her childhood. And she's the only member of the family with the New York accent. And she doesn't call me Gerry. She calls me Gerry. Okay. Now, Gerry, don't forget to call me later. I want a phone call.
Right. That's funny.
You know? Yeah. And but it's so weird growing up in that family, and at the same time, it was always interesting. And my dad volunteered to go to Israel during the war back in '67, and but he got turned down because he's not Jewish, is from what I understood.
We had just moved to Canada, and almost 2 weeks after landing in Canada, my dad gets the cable to come back.
So he had to go back.
He was a major, and when Life magazine did their famous issue about the 6-Day War, the only article about an individual was about my dad. So, and his
wow.
Yeah, studly guy. Well, you and I are very similar in many ways in that case.
And we're also in the Gap Club, remember?
Yeah, okay.
The very proud tradition, the Gap Club. And I love it when you see movie actors who don't change their teeth, that keep that gap. Like Lauren Hutton always kept her gap.
Well, she was very sexy. Yep.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But getting back to your career, going into this movie, like when did you know this is going to be the movie you're going to do next?
Well, I mean, Mark Friedman brought me the screenplay. We worked on it a little bit. We had a company that wanted to make it, but they wanted to make it with like really high-end stars, and we went to some big people where our offers were like 10 to 20 million. But all that has changed. That's not enough right now. You need more than that. With what streaming is offering, they're offering to pay so much more than that right now. The numbers are just absolutely absurd.
Well, look, the landscape has changed for filmmaking, period. It's like one during the time of your career alone. Because you and I are still in that same age group. I went to film school and dropped out. I said, fuck this. I don't like people. I have a problem working with people. I tend to like to work alone. I'm never going to have a career in film other than the arts, because actors annoy me for the most part. Not all of them. I get along with a lot of them, but there's that select few who are pretentious and annoying, and I can't work with them. So going to film school, I went to U of I to go to film school and found it to be pointless for me. And I wanted to focus more on the arts and tell stories that way.
Can I ask you, U of I could be many schools. Which U of I are you talking about? Idaho, Iowa?
Oh, Champaign-Urbana. I'm sorry. Champaign-Urbana.
Yeah, that's a great one, actually.
That's where I broke into journalism, because I got hired as the political cartoonist for the magazine and covers. And then the editor-in-chief listened to me talk when we're just hanging out. And he's a little Chinese guy, and he says, "You need to write." And I'm like, "Really? You think I should be?" "Yeah, you should do." And I did the entertainment columns, and I would do interviews with celebrities, and it was fun. And I had one celebrity ask, he says, "How do you do this? You get me so," because he's a Vietnam vet, but he never talked about it. I got him to open up and talk about Vietnam. And he says, "How do you do that?" I said, "Well, I was a paramedic, and one of the things we were taught is how to talk to crazy people, and I found the same skill set works with entertainment people." And he's like, "Oh my God, fuck you! We're still friends to this day because of me saying that."
Can you say who that was?
Yeah. Well, maybe I shouldn't. After the show, I'll tell you who he is, because he's an actor that's been in a lot of TV and stuff, and he had open heart surgery, and I really should be careful. I don't want to embarrass him.
Okay, you guys will not be. What you're saying is not embarrassing. I understand. No problem.
But he worked on a film that it was my first movie to work on with Bruce Campbell. Was the movie Running Time, directed by Josh Becker, and Josh Becker became my 35-year best friend. We were best friends for 35 years until he died a year ago, and just left me broken. Another atheist Jew, by the way.
You know, it's true how many there are. It's like we're the only religion where you can be an atheist and they don't kick you out.
Yeah, because there's cultural and then there's the religious aspect. And all they care about is the cultural.
You can be a Jew of Einstein, or you can be a Jew of Moses, or you can be both. But sometimes it's a binary choice. Yeah. Sometimes.
Absolutely. By the way, Zax wants to know, how did Caleb keep up his intensity? The emotions flow through the tight shots of his face. He's running, sweating, spitting, and I feel like he could drop at any second, but simply refuses.
Yeah, that is part of what I mean by the greatest combat performance of all time, and we helped by not having to do tons of takes. Like, those takes are all in single shots, and he just keeps it up the entire way. Every time that I looked at it, I couldn't believe what we were getting. And when we first met Caleb for the role, he seemed so wrong for it. He shows up at Mel's Diner for my first meeting with him. He's as skinny as olive oil,
right?
Hair down to his ass, almost. His breath reeks of pot. But I mean, he's very proud about it. I'm not telling anything out of school, but I just knew that he was a great actor. He was recommended by Mark Friedman, actually, and I sent him to meet the actual Ty Carter. Ty wrote to me. He said, "Is this guy going to the gym, or what's going to happen?" And what happened with Caleb was that his brother was a Marine who lost his legs in Iraq. I believe it was Iraq. Maybe it was Afghanistan. I feel like an asshole for not knowing or remembering. But his brother read the screenplay and told him, "You're doing this fucking movie. You're going to do it right." And he showed up. He showed up in Bulgaria to help train him, and which got under the skin of the actual Jericho Denman. And Ray Mendoza.
Your military advisor, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they were awesome. Yeah. He got under their skin a bit because that was their job.
Because he also was your advisor on the new film too, Lucky Strike.
Yes, he's an advisor, and he also plays Top. He plays the first sergeant in the movie as well, and he did a really good job there. He's a great guy. Yeah. He's invaluable.
Yeah, and you get stuff like that, and but his brother helped get him into shape is kind of what I was hoping you would tell me, that he helped push him. Yeah, I like that.
And he was not going to let his brother down, and I totally get that. And he wasn't going to let anybody down. This guy is so intense as an actor. Like, before all of his scenes, he would sprint 200-300 yards. To get out of breath, to get out of
breath. Also, kick those endorphins in.
Yeah, exactly. No, that guy is the real deal. He's going to be in my next film as well, and can't wait to work with him again. He's fantastic.
Well, because now you've also worked with Colin Hanks. I know it wasn't for much in the film, but did you enjoy that? Because I hear he's like a real pleasure to work with. Like,
he's
really
fantastic. He was wonderful. He came in for a day. He was fantastic. So look at, in the Outpost, I had the son of Clint Eastwood. Yeah. I had the son of Mel Gibson. I had
Milo. Oh, I love that guy.
son of Mick Jagger was in the film. I had the son, the grandson of Richard Attenborough was in the film. The grandson of Alan Alda was in the film. Then I had Eastwood's, and then I had Tom Hanks's kid, and in The Horseman, I've got Donald Sutherland's kid. So I'm going to have every second generation.
These new Hollywood dynasties, man. I think it's great. I think it's
and
great.
Of course, Jeff Bridges, who I worked with, his dad was Lloyd Bridges. So yeah, got quite a few of them.
Now, this is a good friend of mine, another writer. Scribe Light wants to know, I'd be curious to know Mr. Lurie's thoughts, given his experience with Deterrence and The Contender, on what he thinks makes a good political thriller, especially in today's vastly polarizing climate.
Well, what makes any political film viable it just keeps changing, doesn't it? I mean, like my next film is a political film, and I've wanted to make it for a long time, and you're right, it is very polarizing, and people, both the studios and actors, want to stay away from it, but it's only been polarizing, really polarizing with Trump. Before then, you could make films on this topic, and now they're just like gun shy about it. They're gun shy about
everybody is like on both sides of the fence. Everybody, I'm always cautious with how I talk to people about politics, because I don't really want people to know my politics. It's none of their business what I think politically. And what I care about is, like with you and me, I like to talk about the creative process. I like to talk about storytelling and personal character. And that's more important.
Okay, but it's all affected by it,
Sure.
It's really, really affected by it. Look, Lucky Strike is very apolitical because no one's going to argue with killing Nazis.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're right. We avoided
killing Nazis.
We avoided politics in the Outpost, but we certainly dealt with the mistakes of military leadership.
Blunders. Where are we going to put that fob? We're going to put it in a valley.
I'll tell you what really gets me is a few years ago, I was going to do my bucket list movie, which is a movie set at West Point. West Point had not had a feature film made there, with the exception of MacArthur for a couple of scenes, in 70 plus years, predates us by a lot. And I got West Point to approve it, and I got Lionsgate to approve it. And here we go. And it's what I wanted to do most of my fucking life, man. Shoot a movie at West Point. When I was at West Point, I always said, where am I going to put the camera? And I had to put the kibosh on the film for the time being because my dad got really sick and I had to take care of him. And then the guy died anyway, and it's too bad. But I couldn't make that movie right now under any circumstance, because the people that are running our military right now, the civilians running our military, are
you'd find yourself at odds with them. No, I get it.
They're so vengeance oriented. They'll look at all they need to do, and they already have, is look at my social media, and they'll say, we're not letting this guy anywhere near the campus. And I don't want to be anywhere near these guys. I believe that what's happening right now is a destruction of the quality of men in our military. I think it's what's happening right now. Disgusting doesn't begin to describe it. So if I do end up making this film, it'll be with a new administration. It could even be Republicans, because they're fine. Most of them, or a lot of them. But this is something. What's going on right now is something else entirely, and it's just so bizarre. The racism, the sexism, the MAGAism, Islamophobia, it's homophobia. It's like nothing that I've ever seen in my life, and I hope it's an aberration and will go back to not putting up statues and paintings of traitors at West Point, putting back in the books of James Baldwin, putting back in the books of Maya Angelou, stuff like that. To
I
not
get you. So, but we got another question here. What was it? This one is one that I wanted to ask you about because I saw some of the armor you used in that film, and I'm like, you shot in Bulgaria for the most part.
Yeah, right.
But I'm like, Anima, by the way, is a big critic of German used in films because she, of course, is a natural German speaker, and she speaks Viennese Austrian, so it's like high German, and she paid attention. She says the first guy that kills the black team.
Yeah.
She says his German's not very good. He's straining. He's very stiff. But
He's
then
Bulgarian.
she got happier later with one of the guys because she says, I think he's Austrian because he speaks very good German. And she hates it when I do her voice.
No,
she's right. She got that right.
Talking in German. The other.
You have it exactly right in both cases. Yeah, I mean
I'm just always.
Well,
I'm just thrilled when they use actual native speakers for German parts.
Well, I'll tell you so the first guy, actually, you're right and wrong. The first guy was Bulgarian actor who tried the German, and it really, he spoke it fluently, but with the wrong accent. So we dubbed him with an actual German. But that always becomes a bit wonky when the voice doesn't belong to the actor speaking it. And then the blonde guy who speaks German is in the middle of the film. He is, in fact, an Austrian. You're right. Tim something. I forgot his. I'm such a jerk. I wish I remembered his name, but he was wonderful. But your question is here. I see here is about the tanks and where do we get them?
Yes, because you actually had an actual Panzer IV in the film.
No.
That wasn't a Panzer IV.
It wasn't a Panzer IV, and this is an issue, actually. We tried to be as accurate as we possibly could be throughout the film with weapons and uniforms and locations. But the most glaring inaccuracy, if you want to call it that, although you can tap dance around it, and I'll try that in a second, was that was a Panzer III. And the Panzer IIIs they were more or less obsolete by the Battle of the Bulge, although there were a few, and they were mostly used by reconnaissance units or leadership tanks, and that's what these guys happen to be. But the truth is that we couldn't find a 4 anywhere. Not to save our lives.
I swear to God, the way you had that thing dressed, I thought that was a Panzer IV.
Well, we tried, but it's actually a Panzer III and a replica of Panzer III. And
you had the APC too, which was really cool.
Right. Yes. That was actually quite accurate. The rest of the vehicles and so on were pretty much perfect, but it is an M3. As soon as the film comes out, the trailer of the film comes out, some historian in Britain comes out lashing against the film because
I've seen. Look, a lot of historians that I watch went after the trailer before seeing the film. And I was just like, okay, I'm not going to be talking to those guys. I won't be listening to them. I got to watch this on my own. I actually kind of appreciated what you put into this film. And I understand the indie process of you do the best you can with what you got.
Hitler in the Battle of the Bulge was using every available thing that he had. He's not holding anything back. So if there were M3s, they would be in there. There just weren't a lot. And
right.
We were criticized for having a fixed position for the German soldiers, which again did not happen a lot, but did happen sometimes in that battle.
Yeah.
They were taking over the sort of pillboxes and sandbags that were used by the Belgian resistance throughout the war. So, that's what we use. So people will nitpick, and even if it's not small,
Nobody nitpicks like historians. Nobody.
It's fine. It's fine. God bless them. They have a job to do. Luckily, when the film came out, it was none of that stuff was mentioned by any critic, or it was only from the trailer that we got some shit. And I think that when you see the film in the context, it makes a little bit more sense when they realize that it's a reconnaissance unit that the M3 belongs to, which is, if there were M3s, that's where they were used in that battle. But guilty. I just couldn't. If I could find M4s, we would have.
Well, I just know that for what you did a good job. I believe you did a good job. I like the fact that you shot in Bulgaria, because so much of the winter, but I did spot, and I just wanted to
oh, this is great. You see, he's criticizing me now. He's finding and going out. It's good. Okay.
Gerry, you're breaking up badly. We didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
You see, I have a feeling I don't want to get any of that. I got it.
Also censoring.
Well, and on that note, it was a pleasure being here. Okay.
Well, I have a question. Why did you film in Bulgaria? That seems an interesting choice to me.
Yeah, I'll tell you, because we filmed in Bulgaria because it's the terrain looks very similar to the Ardennes Forest, but also that's where Millennium is based, and that's where the crew of the Outpost is based. And I wanted that same crew, and they're amazing. And I was able to get them by shooting in Bulgaria. And it's very cost effective, all those things. And we knew we were going to get snow, which we definitely need for a Battle of the Bulge film.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Oh, I think
and we have him back.
There he is.
Yes, look, we've got storms going through right now, Missouri, middle of the country, crap weather. So it's going to impact my Wi-Fi. But anyway, what I was saying, I caught the digital breath was in a few scenes. Was that needed throughout the whole film, or just a few times? Because I know it was cold as shit there.
I gotta say, my friend, and I know this is one of our last questions, so I will smile with that one, because that is one of the few times that I've been asked a question that I've never been asked before.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, there's very little digital breath. A lot of that was genuine cold fucking breath, because it was cold. You see it mostly in the scene toward the end with I don't want to spoil it, but Scott has a conversation at the end of the movie with an American soldier and an American, and some of that breath was digital. But that's
well done, though. I just see that. It's just something my eye catches.
It's expensive, actually. It's not inexpensive to have digital breath, and so we can only use it. There's some scenes where sometimes you speak and you got it, and other times you don't, and that's the function of being with a low budget film. It's unfortunate, but it's there. But I think you're the only person that's ever brought it up. Hence, the only person.
I'm a technical person. I notice things like that, and it's what I do. But I do want to say that, look, I'm proud to have you as a friend. I really am. I think you're a wonderful guy. You're a great filmmaker.
Thank you.
And have somebody in my hip pocket that I know because I've got some friends that are just great people, terrible directors. You're the opposite. You're a shitty person and a wonderful director.
Thank you very much. I will say that the only person who I want to really have love me are my kids and my wife. So,
amen.
I live here in Lisbon now, and they're one much more affable.
Well, I really like you a lot. I think you're a great guy, and I like talking to you. And when your Western comes out, can you find a way to get me an early copy? Because I like to have you on while it's going to be released. While it's
I'm not going to be in charge of that stuff, but if it's possible, I'll definitely get you a copy of the film.
I'll hit you up.
You just got to be on top of it. You didn't even know that I had a whole movie came out.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed over that. I really am. And but I do want to go back because there's a couple little things here from our good friend over in Europe. Yes, certainly Redford and Spielberg did what they could to improve their professional craft. Absolutely, I agree with that. And you were totally lucky to have Spielberg by your side, Rod. And I agree with that sentiment exactly.
No fucking shit.
It is somebody to learn from.
It made my career, and other than Mark Friedman, there's nobody to whom I owe more. And I think he doesn't even realize it. It's and I think there are people whose lives I've affected, and I don't even realize it. But it's
When you write your memoirs, you'll remember.
When I write no one's going to read my memoirs, but
I will read your memoirs.
Okay, I'll write the book just for you.
Just for me.
Nobody
Rod,
else.
I know you got to get going. I asked you for an hour, and it's deeply appreciated, man. I love having you on. Keith wanted to be here. You remember my partner, my black friend. He loves you a lot, and but he couldn't be here because of family stuff. But he wanted me to tell you that he loves you and loves your work, and he hopes to get to see you the next time we have you on.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very, very much.
Take good care, Rod, and I'll talk to you later, man.
Supporting the film, and
thank
everybody you. Get Lucky Strike on almost all the places where you can buy movies. So,
yep.
Talk to you later. Cheers.
Bye, Rod.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
So there we go, guys. God, I enjoy interviewing him. I really do. What a great day to have internet issues. Awesome.
Yeah.
Makes me so proud.
Timing.
I feel so professional. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Everybody have a great day today. We'll see you again on Wednesday. I hope everybody is well and having a good week. And we'll find out more on Wednesday. Take care, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Y'all come back now, you hear? Matt Damon.